Why? If you want to become a successful person, and not just by wealth, you have a lot of money. Nah, not like that. A real successful person who everyone appreciates and who is aware of what he's doing, that successful person, then you really need to learn this book, I think. And under this book, the author, he talks about one of the most powerful skills out there, one of the most powerful skills. Like, this will help you get into places you have never dreamed of. This is emotional intelligence, or your EQ. So first, let's understand what emotional intelligence actually is. What is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is recognizing and understanding your feelings, your emotions, and then using them in a positive way for yourself. It also means to understand the emotions of others so that you can play a better role in their lives, or you can perform better, or you can act much better. So it's understanding others' emotions and feelings as well. Basically understanding their perception by putting yourself in somebody else's shoes. This is emotional intelligence. Now, I've always talked about this. I think EQ is more important than IQ. I'm not saying IQ is bad, and I'm not saying somebody with a high IQ is not intelligent, but overall intelligence, when we talk about the people intelligence, the social skills, the emotional skills, that comes with EQ, that comes with emotional intelligence. So now let's talk about the book, Emotional Intelligence by Daniel Goleman. Now, Daniel Goleman says that IQ is important, but it's not enough. If you really want to be successful, then you need EQ. You always need EQ. So he has given 5 methods to become a much more emotionally intelligent person. 5 methods. Number 1 is self-awareness. What is self-awareness? It's called being aware. Being aware of what? Being aware of your own thoughts, being aware of your perception, being aware of your assumptions, whatever your thoughts are. For example, you're sitting with your friends and now somebody's saying something and you're thinking about that thing. You're just zoning out, you're thinking about something else, or maybe you're just thinking about whatever your friend's saying. You're thinking about all of those things, right? But you're not aware. You're just letting thoughts flow. But the moment you become aware of your thoughts, the moment you realize what is happening in your brain, the moment you realize, oh, I'm thinking about this, the moment your brain realizes, like, this is right or this is wrong, that is self-awareness, being aware of your own thoughts. And at that moment, your thoughts, you're going to change them by yourself. If you think those thoughts are fine, it's fine. If you think these are not, then you're going to change your thoughts. Now, being self-aware will help you to just look at thoughts as thoughts. Like, for example, we let thoughts and emotions and assumptions influence us, influence in a very strong manner. Like, there is a thought and it's a negative thought. Now you're obsessing over it. Your whole mind is disturbed. But that's just a thought. When you're self-aware, you just think, oh, it's just a thought. It'll go away. It's not something that has power over you. If you think that your thoughts has power over you, then you're letting your thoughts control you. And that's not really good. But if you're self-aware of your thoughts, like, maybe this is wrong and maybe this is right. So if you just look at thoughts as thoughts, nothing will affect you. Absolutely nothing. Now let's talk about number 2. Number 2 is self-regulation. What is self-regulation? It's about managing your emotions well. If you cannot regulate your emotions, then you're not an emotionally intelligent person. For example, you know how we say, oh, I was super mad, I was really frustrated, that's why I said that. All right, you cannot control your emotions. Your emotions, they control you. If you cannot regulate your emotions, then that's on you. That's not on the other person. If you say, you know what, I was super frustrated, that's why I said that, I'm sorry. What am I gonna do with your sorry now? If you cannot manage your emotions well, then that's on you. So you have to learn how to regulate your emotions. And for that, again, self-awareness is necessary. For example, you're watching a movie, or maybe you're just dreaming about the life you're gonna live. And now all of a sudden you're super excited and you're just super happy, ha ha ha, every time. And something bad happens all of a sudden, and now you're just crying and thinking, oh my God, what has happened? You did not manage your emotions well when you were happy, and now you cannot manage your emotions well when you're unhappy. So both things are contradicting. So do not let anything take control, and do not let anything influence you so much. Like, they just control you all over. You have to learn how to regulate your emotions. All right, you're in a bad situation, you're in a bad scenario, and you really feel like screaming, you really feel like yelling. And if you do that, if you take that out on the other person, then that just means you're not a good regulator of your emotions, and that's not on the other person. So you need to learn how to regulate your emotions. Even when you're sitting by yourself, I'm not saying like, all right, you do not have to take it out on another person, but you can take it out when you're alone, you know, you can scream and yell. Why? What's good is gonna happen out of that? Absolutely nothing. So you need to learn how to regulate that. Just calm yourself, you know, relax, breathe. This is how you calm your emotions down. So do not be too happy, do not be too excited. Obviously, I'm not saying just don't get excited. You get excited, you be happy. Just do not let that control you, all right? Do not let that control you. You're sad, be sad. You're allowed to be sad. You're allowed to be disappointed. Just don't let that control you. That's it. Now let's talk about number 3. Number 3 is motivation. But motivation for what? Obviously, I cannot motivate you to do a lot of things, you know? I am a motivational speaker. There are a lot of motivational speakers. They can just lead you. They can just tell you this is how you can do things. This is why you have to chase your dreams. But the person who has to take all the actions is you. I cannot do that for you. No other motivational speaker can do it for you. You have to do it yourself. So there should be something that drives you to do things. You should have enough passion to do things. Some energy driven person, you know how we say motivation driven person, some energy that makes you feel, oh my God, I have to do it. So that's the motivation to build something, motivation to have something, motivation to do things, you know, motivation to feel productive, motivation to wake up early in the morning, and motivation to sleep early at night. That motivation. And I cannot do it for you. You need to find out what works the best for you to find that motivation. Let's talk about number 4, empathy. Now, I'm gonna ask you a question. What do you think is more important, sympathy or empathy? Okay, I'm just gonna add a thought here. If you are emotionally intelligent, you're never gonna get mad. You'll always try to understand people's situations. You will always try to see where the other person's coming from. You will always try to see their actions, why they have done such a thing. All right, so now let's just get back to our question. What do you think is more important, sympathy or empathy? Do you know what? Sympathy is something that you can feel for anyone, you know? You can feel pity for anybody. So for example, there's a poor person, you just gave him 100 rupees or maybe $100. So you felt sympathy for him. But empathy is sitting in front of that person and realizing that the only thing that separates you two is luck, just luck and nothing else. So that is empathy, is understanding other people, understanding their perspective, understanding where they're coming from. And once you have that empathy, you will try, not just try, you will start looking at people equally. You know, you will not think anybody's superior, you will not think anybody's inferior, you will not consider them as superior or inferior. You will think of everybody as equals. And that is what empathy does to people. When you have empathy, you understand well. When you are emotionally intelligent, you try to understand other people's actions. So empathy is always more important. So the next time somebody has done something and you're disappointed, you're allowed to be disappointed. Yes, you're allowed to do that. But at the same time, make sure to understand where that person's coming from, why he has done such a thing. Do you know what's going to happen? You're not going to get mad at that person. Why? Because you already know why he has done such a thing, and that person need not explain it to you. You're just going to do it by yourself. And now let's talk about the last but not the least. This is number 5, social skills. A social person, a confident person, a charismatic person. So building relationships. Social skills mean to build relationships, you know, to enter the room and then to shake your hands with everybody. That's what makes you a social person. Because if you do not have relationships and you do not value relationships, then what's good out of it? You're just going to be isolated. You're just going to be isolated. Although it's a fact that intelligent people are always isolated, but an emotionally intelligent people, he understands things. So that's why he is good with everyone. An emotionally intelligent person has good social skills. You can work with anyone. When you're emotionally intelligent, you never think yourself as superior. You will always have that one thought in mind, is that I can still learn. If I do not know something, I can still learn about it. But if you do know something, you're confident about it. But you never try to show inferiority or superiority to anybody or against anyone or towards anyone. That's it. So these are all of the 5 things. So I'm not saying now, again, I'm not saying IQ is not important. Of course it's important. But an emotionally intelligent person can handle stress much better. Obviously, you're great. You know, you're great at chemistry and you're doing some sort of experiment and it's going great. But all of a sudden something gets you know, there's something happened and now that's disappointed you, and you're not emotionally intelligent, so you won't know how to regulate your emotions, you won't know how to handle that stress. But if you are emotionally intelligent, you can communicate much better, you can handle stress much better, and you can lead much better. This is what an emotionally intelligent person does. So IQ is important, but at the same time, if you have EQ, that's a deadly combination. So EQ is more important than IQ. Does not mean IQ is less important, it is. But without IQ, it does not really mean a lot. So build your emotional intelligence. Read this book. I've just given you the whole summary. You can read this book. It's amazing. Also, all of my English courses are out now. Basic English, Advanced English, British accent, American accent. You can go check out the syllabus and check out every class, every course, all on my website, janhavipanwar.com. The link for that is in the description box down below. I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Till then, bye everyone, stay safe.